Time to turn up the volume, folks.
I like singing. I like singing.
Talking about our backyard, well, this Saunders Dam is right in our backyard in Cornwall, and it's a perfect example of how we use volume of something, water, to make electricity. Like how much water, or what volume of water, would we need to push a propeller or a turbine the size of a couple cars?
Hey, get out of there! That's dangerous! Get out of the turbine!
Volume is how much space something takes up. It's a little bit more than the area of the surface. It's what's inside. The volume in there looks a little tight.
Daddy, look. Daddy.
Are brothers and sisters supposed to be that nice to each other?
I did warn you, this story wasn't fluffy.
Rock and roll. Rock and roll. Rock and roll.
I think the best way to construct a meaning of volume is to consider volume as a whole bunch of surface area shapes stacked on top of each other. So as we transition from area to volume, I want to show you that the surface area is part of your volume calculation. So in a few minutes, I'm going to stack these records, but it's important to see what is the surface area of the record on top. Well, we saw that that measurement was 31 centimeters and that was 31 centimeters, making it a perfect square. Interesting. So to find the surface area, it would be length times width, which was 31 centimeters times 31 centimeters. And I'll show you how best to do that on your calculator. So you go 31, whoop, 31. And because it's multiplied by itself, we have this little square button. So convenient, so dusty. Alright, and so surface area of one record is 961 centimeters squared. So here's a little example that I wanted you to see where we're stacking a whole bunch of flat squares on top of each other. And I'm measuring the width, the length, and that just represents the surface area of the top. Now the third dimension, the height of the stack, happens to also be 31. So this is your perfect cube, your tesseract. So it's important for you guys to see how these formulas take shape, because I know that some of you already know that volume equals length times width times height. But that's for an easy shape, like something like a cube or a rectangular prism. But when we get into irregular shapes or even cylinders or cones, we can think our way through it to actually construct the formula. And I'm going to show you kind of how. So first of all, we're going to piggyback on our last calculation of the surface area of the vinyl record, and it was 31 by 31, so that's 961 centimeters squared. Well, now we've stacked them, so we've added a dimension, and that is the height. And that was really cool. That was our tesseract, our perfect cube. So now when we go to do the volume of a perfect cube, it was L times width times height, which all was the same number. 31 times 31 times 31. And here is where we can use exponents now to save some calculations, but that is 31 cubed. And like with the 2 here, we call it squared, square the number. Well, with the 3, we call it cube, and that's why. When you have 3 dimensions here and they're all the same, they form a cube. So on my calculator here, I'm lucky because there's also, check it out, must be important, a cubed button. So I'll hit the cube button. Still pretty dusty. And our volume is 29,791 centimeters cubed. Now this is really, really important to think about, the way we're stacking flat surface areas, because now we're going to get into the cylinder, and I know you guys were like, what's going on with this cylinder formula? Well, I'm thinking that now it's going to take much more shape. Get it? Shape? In your brains. Here we've got a radius of 15 centimeters. Okay. So now we're going to do this with our circles. So we know there are actual records. So what is inside those record sleeves is a perfect circle with a radius of 15. And when we stack these, it's going to make a very, very similar shape in our brains, known as the cylinder. So just to look at this surface area, and we already calculated this a couple days ago, but we'll do it again. Surface area of a circle, you'll recall, is pi times r squared. And pi is 3.14. And that's radius squared, which is 15 times itself. 15 squared. So our surface area then, drop my pen, grab my calculator, is, remember there's a button for pi, times 15 squared. And that's going to give, here we go. We're constructing the cylinder formula by stacking these vinyl records on top of each other. And here we are, and I'm going to show you how it's important to have the surface area of the circle. So part of the formula will deal with the surface area of the top or the base. And the other part of the formula will have to deal with the height of the stacked circles. Okay, so the volume of a cylinder then will equal the area of the base, so the area of the circle, multiplied by the height. So the area of the base of the circle, and this represents the height. And that was 31 centimeters. Okay, so the volume now of a cylinder, the area of the base, because it's a circle, is now pi r squared. And the height, well, we'll just leave it as h, height. And because we did the surface area above, we know that this component of the formula for cylinder volume is pi r squared, which is 7. We'll just round it up to 706.9. And that's centimeters squared. And the height was, well, 31 centimeters. So, drop the pen, get out the calculator. Our final calculation, then it'll be your turn to do some work. And we have 21,913.9 centimeters cubed. Now, there's something really cool with exponents, and I'm not sure if some of our grade 8s have seen it, but when you have dimensions like this and they're multiplied, so there's like a little multiplying here. When you have exponents that are multiplied together with the same base, so the base is centimeters, you do this procedure with exponents where you just add the exponents. So that's where the centimeters cubed comes from. This is something that we're going to need to practice before grade 9 and before the end of the year. So we'll get into this very soon. But that is how you construct the formula for a cylinder. Okay, and over the next couple days, maybe there's some other shapes that we can kind of break down and construct their formulas as well. Awesome, I'm so happy that you made it this far in the video. We will see you soon.
Bonjour, mon ami. Comment vas-tu aujourd'hui?
I need some more Legos.
Okay. Okay.
That's not how you do it. It's this.